When most of us think pyramids, we think of Egypt, maybe Mexico. Archaeologist Semir Osmanagic says he's uncovered pyramids in the former Yugoslavia.
The Bosnian pyramids are the largest, the biggest, the oldest pyramids on the planet.
What if the world's greatest pyramid was never in Egypt, but hidden beneath the soil of a war-torn valley in Bosnia? And what if it was never meant to be found? When a Bosnian archaeologist announced he had uncovered a massive man-made structure buried under Visoko in 2005, no one believed him. But the deeper they dug, the stranger things became perfectly cut stone slabs, magnetic distortions, even tunnels that seemed to hum with invisible energy. Scientists dismissed it as a hoax, but the evidence kept growing. And when researchers began measuring energy patterns radiating from the site, even skeptics were forced to look twice. If the discovery is real, then humanity's oldest story may have to start again not in Egypt, not in Mesopotamia, but in the heart of Europe. The answer lies ahead. Don't look away, because the next part might change what you think you know about human history. When excavation began in Visoko, Bosnia, what seemed like ordinary hills quickly defied expectation beneath layers of earth. Archaeologists uncovered massive stone blocks, cut, shaped, and stacked with uncanny precision. Tests at the University of Zenica confirmed the slabs were not natural rock, but an artificial conglomerate, a kind of ancient cement with compressive strength stronger than modern concrete. If accurate, this would mean the builders possessed engineering knowledge far beyond their time. Even more puzzling was the pyramid's orientation. Surveyors discovered that the sides of the so-called Pyramid of the Sun aligned almost perfectly with true north, with greater accuracy than the Great Pyramid of Giza. Such precision, many argued, was impossible without advanced astronomical understanding. Then came the tunnels beneath the valley. Explorers entered a labyrinth now called the Raven Tunnels, miles of interconnecting passageways linking several pyramid-shaped hills, the Pyramids of the Moon, Dragon, and Temple of the Earth. Inside were smooth walls, engraved blocks, and enormous rounded megaliths weighing up to 10 tons. Their placement appeared deliberate, as though serving a forgotten function. That's when the instruments started reacting. Teams recorded continuous electromagnetic beams rising vertically from the Pyramid of the Sun's apex, steady at a frequency of 28 kilohertz. The signal was constant, day and night. Dr. Harry Oldfield, a British physicist, described it as a scalar field, a non-Hertzian standing wave that suggested a form of ancient energy technology. It's as if the pyramid is still active, he said. Repeated measurements dismissed interference theories, and even drones detected a dome-shaped electromagnetic field forming over the summit. Meanwhile, air analyses inside the tunnels revealed negative ion levels tens of thousands of times higher than in open-air conditions known to boost mood, oxygen flow, and healing. Each discovery pushed the limits of conventional explanation. Could geological coincidence alone account for precise alignments, artificial concrete, measurable energy emissions, and a vast tunnel network linking multiple pyramidal hills? By 2010, Visoko had become one of archaeology's great battlegrounds. Critics dismissed it as pseudoscience. Believers saw it as proof of a forgotten civilization whose understanding of energy and geometry rivaled or surpassed our own. But the most extraordinary clues still waited below ground deep inside the tunnels, sealed away for millennia, where something ancient might still be humming in the dark. As the Raven Tunnel excavations deepened, the mystery surrounding the Bosnian pyramid grew far beyond expectation. These tunnels didn't resemble natural caves at all. Their ceilings were flat, their walls smooth, and their intersections met at precise right angles. Even more astonishing, the air inside was crisp and oxygen-rich, despite the absence of any visible ventilation system. Soon, researchers began uncovering massive sandstone megaliths wrapped in layers of clay, carved with strange, indecipherable markings. The largest, dubbed K2, weighed over 20 tons and emitted faint ultrasound frequencies between 7 and 9 hertz vibrations, imperceptible to the human ear, but known to influence brainwave patterns. To some, this hinted that the tunnels weren't mere passageways, but part of a resonant acoustic network, designed to channel or amplify energy. Further inside, teams encountered deliberate barriers, walls of compacted gravel and clay blocking the paths. Their uniform composition suggested they were placed intentionally, perhaps to seal off deeper chambers. Dr. Semir Osmanagic proposed that the builders might have closed the tunnels to preserve or contain the energy system within. Then came one of the most provocative discoveries. In 2012, researchers uncovered a ceramic block above a flowing underground stream. Instruments detected a strong electromagnetic field. Seemingly amplified by quartz and magnetite minerals in the surrounding rock, a textbook example of piezoelectric energy, where pressure on crystalline materials generates electrical charge. If accurate, it implied that the pyramid complex could have been designed to harness natural energy, a kind of ancient power plant silently operating for millennia. Subsequent tests on the stone blocks revealed geopolymer binders and microcrystals, consistent with advanced synthetic stone, a man-made material that mirrored techniques speculated at other ancient sites, from Giza to Pumapunku. This added weight to the theory that the builders possessed forgotten knowledge of chemistry and engineering. Conditions inside the tunnels also defied expectation. Radiation levels were negligible, while negative ion concentrations were thousands of times higher than surface air levels typically found near waterfalls or mountain springs. Visitors frequently reported sensations of calm, warmth, or mental clarity, phenomena that researchers cautiously linked to measurable environmental factors rather than mere belief. By now, even critics conceded that something unusual was occurring beneath Visoko, though whether it was geological coincidence or evidence of an advanced, lost science remained unknown. Yet one thing was undeniable: the same electromagnetic signatures and precise geometries were appearing in pyramid sites around the world. And when researchers compared the data from space-based instruments, what they found suggested a global pattern, one that could no longer be easily dismissed. By 2015, the Bosnian pyramid had become one of the most polarizing discoveries on Earth. Scientists, journalists, and tourists flooded into Visoko, each determined to decide for themselves whether this was the greatest archaeological find of the century or the world's most elaborate illusion. To believers, the evidence was overwhelming: man-made stone blocks, geometric precision, electromagnetic energy, and vast tunnels connecting multiple structures. To skeptics, it was all coincidence, natural geology misread by hopeful eyes. The European Association of Archaeologists issued a harsh statement, calling the project a cruel deception of the public. Experts insisted the formations were natural sedimentary layers fractured by erosion, not ancient architecture. As one National Geographic article put it, a pyramid-shaped hill does not make a pyramid, but public fascination refused to die. Engineers, geologists, and independent researchers from Japan, Russia, and Croatia arrived to test the claims firsthand. Their instruments confirmed persistent electromagnetic and ultrasonic emissions, though none could easily explain their origin. It's unlike anything we've measured at a natural site, one visiting physicist remarked. Soon, major networks joined the frenzy. Crews from BBC, CNN, and Discovery Channel filmed documentaries that drew millions of viewers. Headlines called it Europe's Great Pyramid Mystery. In 2018, a viral documentary reignited the global debate: was Bosnia home to a forgotten civilization? The Bosnian government, once cautious, began to embrace the phenomenon. Tourism surged, bringing new life to the Visoko Valley. Restaurants reopened, hotels filled, and once silent villages buzzed again with languages from around the world. Yet for Dr. Samir Osmanagic, the project was never about tourism. The problem, he said, isn't the lack of evidence, it's that the evidence doesn't fit the accepted story. And when something doesn't fit, it's attacked. New data soon deepened the enigma. Drone mapping revealed that the 5 pyramid-shaped hills, Sun, Moon, Dragon, Earth, and Love, formed a near-perfect geometric pattern, aligned with solar positions during solstices and equinoxes. If intentional, it implied astronomical knowledge far beyond what Neolithic Europe was thought to possess. Then came the question of age. Radiocarbon tests from organic material inside the tunnels produced dates between 24,000 and 29,000 years old, older than any known civilization. Critics dismissed the findings as contamination. Others saw them as confirmation that something truly ancient lay beneath Bosnia. Whatever the truth, one thing was undeniable: the Bosnian pyramid had forced the world to look again at its own past. And just when the controversy seemed to settle, new tests in 2020 would reveal something even harder to deny: that the pyramid might still be active. In 2020, a joint team of geophysicists, material scientists, and archaeologists launched the most advanced study ever conducted on the Bosnian pyramid complex. Their goal was simple: to determine whether the mysterious hills of Visoko were natural formations or remnants of something engineered. What they found would shake even the most skeptical minds. When core samples from the Pyramid of the Sun were reanalyzed under scanning electron microscopy, the results were striking. The blocks contained microscopic air pockets and synthetic binders consistent with geopolymer cement, an artificial material with a compressive strength exceeding 70 megapascals, stronger than most modern concrete. One member of the team remarked that this was not a product of geology, it's engineered. Then came the real breakthrough. Ground-penetrating radar and electromagnetic tomography revealed a series of symmetrical chambers and corridors hidden beneath the pyramid. arranged in deliberate geometric patterns. The internal layout bore uncanny resemblance to the architectural symmetry of Egypt's Great Pyramid evidence. Many believed of purposeful design rather than coincidence. As testing continued, physicists detected an even stranger phenomenon, a coherent electromagnetic beam rising vertically from the pyramid's summit. Pulsing at 2826 kHz, independent research teams confirmed the same frequency and identified it as a non-Hertzian longitudinal wave, the very type of energy field Nikola Tesla once theorized could transmit power wirelessly. The signal rose in a narrow column hundreds of feet into the air before dispersing, behaving more like an active transmitter than a natural emission. Inside the Raven tunnels, researchers observed effects that seemed to complement the pyramid's behavior. Massive sandstone megaliths displayed piezoelectric responses to sound vibrations, while the tunnels themselves showed extremely high concentrations of negative ions and remarkably low radiation levels. Flowing water beneath the valley, rich in quartz and magnetite, appeared to generate a natural electrical charge that the pyramid could amplify. Further acoustic studies led by Dr. Paolo De Bertolis, an Italian researcher, revealed standing sound waves between 783 and 9 Hz, identical to the Schumann resonance, Earth's natural electromagnetic frequency. He concluded that whoever built the complex understood the relationship between energy, sound, and consciousness. Modeling data later showed that the pyramid's angles, 43.5 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees, matched astronomical constants related to solar cycles. When the 5 pyramid structures were mapped, their alignment corresponded precisely to the sun's position during solstices and equinoxes, suggesting the entire complex functioned as a cosmic observatory. For years, skeptics had demanded proof. Now, the data was undeniable, yet it defied every accepted geological and historical model. The Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun appeared to be a multi-layered system of stone, energy, and geometry, designed with intent and precision far beyond what was thought possible in prehistory. If these findings hold true, they suggest that long before Egypt or Mesopotamia, an advanced civilization in Europe may have mastered the hidden science of the Earth itself, a legacy that still hums beneath the quiet hills of Bosnia. When the 2020 findings finally went public, the world was split in two. For years, the Bosnian pyramid story had been dismissed as fantasy, but now, the data was too consistent, too measurable, to ignore. Geopolymer analysis confirmed artificial material, ground scans mapped deliberate geometry, electromagnetic readings showed patterns no natural hill should produce. Something extraordinary lay beneath Visoko. But instead of consensus, the discovery unleashed a storm. Leading archaeologists warned that extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. They accused Dr. Samir Osmanagic and his team of chasing myths. Yet, independent labs across Italy, Croatia, and Serbia repeated the same experiments and got the same results. Even NASA's satellite imagery revealed subtle, grid-like anomalies beneath the valley's surface patterns that seemed, at the very least, engineered. That's when the narrative escaped academia. Documentaries went viral, conferences overflowed, online debates raged between scientists and believers. Soon, Bosnia was being mentioned alongside Giza, Teotihuacan, Gunung Padang, and the pyramids of China, each site built with precision to the cardinal points, each resonating with frequencies tied to the Earth itself. Was it coincidence or evidence of a forgotten global network? Osmanagic thought the answer was clear. In interviews, he spoke not as a dreamer, but as a man uncovering something ancient. "We are rediscovering what our ancestors already knew," he said. They understood energy, frequency, and vibration, the fundamental language of nature. Even in the scientific community, cracks began to form. A handful of open-minded physicists admitted that Bosnia's energy readings didn't fit any known geological model. Some speculated that these pyramids might have functioned as harmonic resonators, interacting with the Schumann resonance, Earth's natural electromagnetic rhythm. Others still called it pseudoscience, but quietly, they stopped calling it impossible. Meanwhile, Visoko transformed. The once quiet valley turned into a modern-day pilgrimage site. Scientists, mystics, and travelers walked the same tunnels where ancient builders once stood. Meditation groups gathered underground, reporting strange sensations, warmth, clarity, a sense of connection. Geobiologists monitoring the sessions recorded faint electromagnetic fluctuations synchronized with human heart rhythms. By 2022, the Bosnian Pyramid Foundation released its most detailed report, yet over 1,000 pages of field data, lab tests, and energy measurements. It described 5 pyramid structures, a 12-mile tunnel system, and persistent electromagnetic emissions none explainable by geology alone. For some, it was still fantasy. For others, it was the start of something seismic the first evidence that civilization may not have begun where we thought it did. Because if the Bosnian pyramids are truly what the data suggests, not monuments, but machines, then humanity isn't at the peak of knowledge. Nearly 2 decades after its discovery, the Bosnian pyramid complex still divides the world, to some. It's a masterclass in pseudoscience, a monument not of stone, but of belief, to others. It's the missing chapter of human history, the proof that an advanced civilization once thrived in the heart of Europe. Yet even the harshest critics agree on one thing: the mystery refuses to go away. The geometry is too deliberate, the materials too refined, the tunnels too vast, too intentional, to dismiss as coincidence. Something happened in Visoko, something powerful enough to shape not only the land, but the legends that endure around it. If the Bosnian pyramids are real, the implications are staggering. It would mean that civilization is far older, far more complex than our textbooks admit. That long before Sumer or Egypt, there were people who understood geometry, astronomy, and resonance not as myths, but as science. They built not just to shelter themselves, but to speak with the earth, to heal through frequency, to connect with forces we're only beginning to rediscover. But if the skeptics are right, if all of this is illusion, misreading, and hope, then perhaps the pyramids reveal something just as profound: our deep human need to seek meaning in the unknown, to find wonder in mystery, to believe that beneath the dust of history lies something greater than ourselves. And maybe that's why the story endures, because the Bosnian pyramids aren't only about archaeology, they're about identity, about who we are, where we came from, and what we've forgotten along the way. So what do you believe? Are we the pinnacle of human progress, or merely the latest echo of a civilization that once touched the stars? Perhaps the truth still lies buried beneath Visoko's hills, waiting for the right eyes, the right hands, the right moment to bring it to light. And when that moment comes, when the last tunnel is cleared and the final stone is lifted, we may realize that the story of humanity didn't begin in the valleys of Mesopotamia. It began here, in the heart of Bosnia, where stone meets light and memory meets time.